So April's nearly done, and I'm sure you want to know what movies are coming out. I'm Jake Mellor, and let's take a look at the movies in the month of May. So if you're a movie fan like myself, at the end of every month I like to get into a nice little package all the movies that are coming out for the following month to get me psyched, pumped up, excited, other words that are in the thesaurus. And so I do this little video at the end of every month to make sure you hit that subscribe button right away, so then at the end of every month, you know what movies are coming the next month. And oh boy, do we have a lot of movies coming out this year. So let's keep this quick, let's just jump straight into it. On the 2nd of May, we have 2 great movies coming out. One maybe only coming out in Australia, the other one worldwide, which is The Long Shot and Top End Wedding. Now let's talk The Long Shot first. It's a comedy movie that stars Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. And basically Seth Rogen's a writer, Charlize Theron is running for president, and it's kind of the odd couple ensemble. Now any movie that Seth Rogen seems to be in these days, he adds his Seth Rogenisms to him. But I do have a feeling this is going to be a very Seth Rogen-centric movie, with Charlize Theron as more of the serious straight person. So if you like Seth Rogen, this is definitely one to check out. The other on the 2nd of May is a movie called Top End Wedding. Now I'm really excited to see it, promote it, and talk about it because it's an Australian movie. And if we go out and see more Australian movies, there's going to be more movies made about Australia. My only problem with this movie though, and don't get me wrong, I love the Australian culture. I am Australian myself, as you can probably tell from the accent. However, if all movies that are made in Australia are all very Crocodile Dundee, taking place in the outback with the kangaroos, people may not be as interested to go see them. And because of this, less Australian movies will be made. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong, but I'd really like to see some more Australian movies that just take place in Australia, but are completely different stories, like they do in America. Because imagine if all American movies were cowboys down in the South, or stereotypical American kind of movies. No, they're not like that. They have all kinds of different genres, all kinds of different movies, with all kinds of different characters. But nevertheless, I'm excited to go see this. Now let's jump forward 1 week later to the 9th of May. We have the movies The Hustle and Detective Pikachu. Both of these movies are set up where they could either do really well or flop. Let's start with The Hustle. Now The Hustle is actually a remake of a 1988 movie called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. This movie starred Steve Martin and Michael Caine, and so The Hustle, starring Anne Hathaway and Rebel Wilson, is going to be a modernized version of this movie. Now the trailers look moderately funny, but again, like the Seth Rogen one, if you like Rebel Wilson's attitude, Anne Hathaway's probably going to play the more straighter character, Rebel Wilson the ridiculous one. If you like Rebel Wilson's comedy, you're going to love it. If you don't, it's probably worth giving a pass. Now the other one's quite an interesting one, Detective Pikachu. So imagine Pikachu, but voiced by Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds. The first couple of trailers looked really awesome. I think it's going to be a good family movie, good comedy, really good to see. And who doesn't like a bit of Ryan Reynolds banter, am I right? I'll drink some gin to that. Little promo for you, Ryan, if you want to send us a couple of bucks. Moving on. Now on the 16th of May, we've only got the one movie coming out, John Wick 3. Now I am super excited for this movie. I love the first 2 ones. I've just rewatched the first one on Netflix. Hopefully my roommate Tim will want to watch the second one with me coming up soon. This is going to be an all-out action fest. I'm hoping that they tie up some loose ends, but nevertheless, the trailers are looking awesome. Now on the 23rd of May, we've got 2 movies coming out. First one, Aladdin. I don't really need to say much about this one. Will Smith is the genie, gonna be awesome, and it's another one of the live action remakes. As long as it's not as depressing as Dumbo, which will not be hard to beat, I think we're in for a bit of a winner here. And then next on the 23rd, we have this movie Brightburn. Now imagine Superman coming to Earth, but he was a messed up evil version of Superman. That's kind of what the trailers are giving away from it, but obviously nothing to do with Superman. I don't have much to say about it because there's not that much information, but it is intriguing enough that I definitely want to give this movie a look. Finally, on the 30th of May, we've got Rocketman and Godzilla. Now, I'm super excited for both of these. Firstly, let's look at Rocketman. Rocketman's an Elton John biopic, but it's not really a biopic. It's kind of Elton John's life, but in a surreal, manic, cinematic form, where it has musical numbers, exaggerated parts of his life, kind of like if Elton John did a musical on Sound and Stage. Now, I'm really excited to see this because if it's got a lot of Elton John's personality in it, it's bound to be a killer. Elton John's a wacky dude, and we love him for that. This is going to be one where you're going to sing along to for sure. Hold me closer, tiny dancer. But hopefully a little bit better than I do. And then lastly, to finish off the month, run! It's Godzilla! Now this is going to be awesome. The first one I wasn't a huge fan of, but it's massive monsters versus massive monsters. And as long as they don't focus too much on his tiny head, I think it's going to be a killer. Alright guys, that's all the important movies that I'm psyched to see in May. If I've left some out that you're excited to see, let me know down below in the comments. I know some people are super excited for Peppa Pig, just not my cup of tea. Check out as many movies as you can. Going to the movies is a great experience, great for a first date. But can I just give you guys a bit of advice? If you're going to the movies for a first date, go to the movies first and have dinner afterward, because then you don't have that awkward recorded conversation at first at dinner, and then after the movies, you got all this movie to talk about. Just a little tip for you from Jake. So thanks for being here, guys. Make sure you subscribe down below. Check out my other videos. I've got movie reviews, movie news, and some upcoming vlogs that I'm working on. So make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on, and stay tuned. Join the family. And as always, guys, work hard and be lucky.